Hello, everyone, and welcome to my live stream, which is today about Substance Designer and Arnold. I just went live right now, and so we will just be
Hello,
waiting.
everyone, and welcome to my live stream.
We will just be waiting some time for a few more people to show up. So, in the meantime, you feel free to ask any questions. I'll have the chat open so I can see what the questions are. So, yeah. I think I should also have the Twitter open just to see if I'll actually send something out. Yeah, it's out there. So let's hope we get a few more viewers, and then I will start with Substance Designer. I don't know, some of you maybe know what Substance Designer is. It's a pretty cool tool to create procedural textures and noises, which is pretty helpful if you want to create good looking shaders, and I will be talking about that, how to set it up, and especially how to connect the shaders with Maya. What's up? So pop up chat. Yeah, cool. Substance Painter is similar. It will have it. I think it has the same export options. It's just it's more like Mari, right? It's more for painting and really brush strokes, and Designer is mostly procedural, which I like because it gives really nice detail to everything what you do. So I'll just show that when we have a few more people online. Oh, and by the way, I updated my internet, so I have now better stream, hopefully better stream. I'm not so sure just yet, but we shall see if it lags or anything like that. So where's the chat? And the bigger problem is I just have one monitor and I need to declutter everything so everything is nice and visible for you guys. Realistic cloth texture. Yeah, I got that request several times already. At some point I will do that definitely. I've got so many tutorials planned, so I'm trying to keep up with all the requests, but honestly, it's not to do, and it's just a one-man show, so I'm trying the best as I can to do some more tutorials. Okay, so how many do we have now? We're now 30 people watching. I think this is kind of good enough, and everyone who comes late, he can just go back, I guess. Okay, so the first thing I will show you is the designer interface. So this is kind of the default. It's pretty late. I won't be able to watch it soon. Yeah, all the videos will be uploaded, so no worries about that. Anyway, so this is now the basic interface. I just have like a default sphere, and what I did before, I dropped my library path into Substance Designer, and you can do that in Options, Preferences. Why is this not floating? It should be on top. Yeah, there we go. So then you go to projects and then library in here, and then you can add your path to your HDRIs or environments, and that's what I did. So I have my environment which I will be using in Maya as well. So these are the two things, or the only thing which I changed so far. Why? Oh, I think I'm wrong. That's better. No, this is what I wanted to do. So, okay. I still have the chat open, but you see a clean interface for Substance. Right. So you don't see the other tools I have open. Yeah, Substance Painter / Designer, I agree, is the future, but currently it's not being adopted because they don't support UDEMs, and the whole VFX industry relies on that. So it will still be a while until it is fully supported. I know there is workarounds, and DNEG is using a nice workaround to actually get it working. So anyways, so the first thing I want to do is import some geometry, right? We don't want to work on a lame sphere. So Substance has in their menu, oh, you can't actually see that. So I need, unfortunately, to switch to my display view So you have the window here, and then you can go to help, and then you can go to substance share, which is a portal where you can download shaders or materials. So I just went there and I went to meshes, and they have a few to play around with. This one is pretty cool. This is nice for Painter because you can use like effects particle brushes for that kind of thing. But for the procedural one, I will be using a more basic one, which will just be this shader ball, which is cut in half. So we have some nice edge detects and everything like that. So I just downloaded that, and let's head back to designer. So I'm just moving my views over, toggling designer. There we go. So this is the clean interface for you guys. Yeah, that's what I'm showing you, my friend Mike. So anyways, just follow along. So I have my project open. So I just right click here, new package, which is this SPS file, and then in that I created a new substance graph and I named this to life, and this is the default output I'm getting. So you see a few outputs: base color, normal, roughness, metallic, and you can actually see metallic it sounds familiar now with the new Arnold 5. So this is exactly what we will be using. But I'll first show you how to import the mesh. So you can right click here on the SPS file, link, and go to 3D mesh. Oh, you don't see those menus. That's annoying. Okay, sorry. Let's just switch this again. This does not really work. So what I did, I right click here, and then I went to import. No, I'm sorry. You need to click here, right click, link, and then you go through 3D mesh. And then you choose the FBX file, what I just downloaded, which is the sample sphere, and then it gets added. And what you can do is just drop it into the 3D view, and it updates. So there we go. This is what we see. And now if I want to get the environment back, I can just go to environment, edit, is visible, true, and then we see the default environment again. So obviously I want to use the one I have been using. So this is Garage, which you don't have, but it does not matter, whatever you want to use. So I'll just drop that in. How's the workflow of Substance and Houdini, Arnold? I don't know. I'm not a FX guy, so I don't use Houdini really. Okay. So we've got the Garage back here. And we've got the sphere. So the first thing what I want to do is show you how to create a simple basic color. So let's just create a constant color, which is called, in this case, uniform. And let's just drop that for base color. Let's just make this smaller. It's a bit annoying. It's screen space. Damn it. Anyways, there we go. So let's just change this color to be red. Now we need to get this guy floating on top again. There we go. So, and if you want to see that, you can right click on the output node and say view in 3D view, and then it asks you as what path you want to do, and you can use base color, and then you should see it appearing yellow. Okay, that's a bit ugly. Let's just use some vibrant colors, something like that. All right, so before we start, I want to do just connect default shaders so we can actually view the whole shader in one go. So to do that, I'm just creating a normal map, which there's normal and there's no normal Sobel, which I like to use. It has a few less clicks. And then roughness, I keep pressing tab on its space bar. It's like I'm so used to Nuke and all the other packages which use tab for node creation. But Substance is different. So I don't want to use a height map. Height map is kind of a displacement map, and you need to know that Substance is actually a tool for games, and they use fake displacement maps and everything like that. So that's called a height map, and that's what they use. Anyways, so this is now the basic setup, and if you want to see the shader now live, you can right click and view outputs in 3D, and then it automatically assigns each output to the corresponding parameter. So now you can see we actually have a nice shiny shader ball. So the first thing what I want to show you is if I change the roughness color, let's just increase the value, you should see that the surface gets rougher, which is pretty nice. And this output, what you see here, kind of is exactly the same what you get in Arnold if you set it up correctly. So now I will show you how to do that. So cool tools in Substance are the mask generators. Yes, I use Substance in production as well. So there are lots of different things. There are lots of custom ones. Let's see, which one should we use? Edge. Let's use this one. So this is now a generator, which is I think you can open it up unless they have open reference. Yeah, you can actually open the shader up and you can see how it's being constructed, which is really nice because if you know how it works, you can really create your own advanced shaders, which is pretty cool. Okay, let's just get back to the other one. There we go. So this is a collapsed version, and you can see it needs some input to work properly. So it needs curvature, ambient occlusion, wall space normals, position, and a mask, which is optional. So when you download this file from the internet, you actually have you can download the resources as well. So I will be just using those resources which I downloaded, which you get in the zip file for this sphere. If you don't have them, I'll show you how to create them. So first, let's import them. Import bitmaps, and then these guys here. So these are geometry maps which you can bake out and use them in your shading networks. So first, let's create this nice little frame. I like to do that. It just makes everything more clear. Come on. There we go. So let's call geometric stuff data or whatever. Without the spelling though. Okay, so what I like to do, I just drag them all in here. There we go. And as you can see, I'm using actually a 30-day test version because I don't have a proper license for home use. So this is occlusion. This one is the position pass. So these are these things. So if you don't have them, how do you create them? So you create them on the geometry itself. So you right click on the imported geometry and you can say bake model information. Then you get a dialog, which I'm not sure if it's visible. And in here you can actually, I haven't done this in a while, you can click on plus exactly, and then you can add curvature and whatever you want to do. You can choose them here. You can add your output sizes, your UVs, the names, whatever, all the stuff which you need for this particular generator you can use there. Yeah, so that's what the person who uploaded them did, and I downloaded just the images, so these are the outputs from there. Okay, so let's connect them up and see actually what this mask generator is. So let's first connect the curvature to the curvature slot. And it automatically creates a grayscale conversion from RGB to float. Then we do the same thing for occlusion. I press D to, you can press D and it jumps to it, so it's a more compact mode. But I just like to see everything, so I think this one was position. Position is this guy here. And then we have wall space normals which go here. And that's the mask generator. And if I double click the node, you can actually see the output already, what is being exported. So you can see it's a nice detailed, I don't know, like a roughness map or a scratch map. So we can use this for several things. You can add dust like this to an object or use it as a roughness map. But what I like to do, which is a workflow I like to do to get more detail into my maps, I use a blend operation. And blend is like in Maya a mix or a composite node, whatever. So blending is just blending two colors together. So the foreground and the background. The background is your base, which is my pink thingy. What's going on Facebook? Jesus. And my foreground will be my other color, which I want to use. So let's just move them around like this. It's always difficult with these inputs. Okay, so let's just create for now another uniform. color, and let's just do, oh wait, we can do this first. Okay, let's just connect this and make a blue color. And then we connect the output to the mask. And then you can see if I connect this to the output base color, you can see what we get. This looks already pretty cool, right? So you can see it already adds like a really nice edge detail to your object, only based on these geometry things. And then you actually have the option to play around with some values. So you can add more smoothness to the edges, or you can add more grunge to everything. And you can see it's updating almost real time on the left. And you can do lots of awesome stuff with that. So, but I'll show you. It will get still get somewhat better. So in the library, you have lots of different tools. Honestly, I'm really a beginner in this tool. There's so much to explore. It's such a huge tool, and you've all these procedurals. You can create really amazing things. And I guess there are lots of people out there who see what I'm doing and say, "What? Why are you doing that like that?" and whatever. So different ways of doing things. So this PBR metal thing is a node which has some presets for material types. So I want to use a nickel coat or like a base, and I will just connect this instead of the blue, and now we should get a like this nickel base color. And now the other thing which is important, now we get into the metallic slot. So whatever is white is metallic, and you can see it looks like almost like an Iron Man shader now. And the rest is now chrome. So this is what I want to do. But I want to drive this metallic thing with this mask, which I'm using for the base color as well. So I will just plug this right into here, and it will automatically connect everything up. And now I have all the metal pieces are shiny, and the rest is like a paint, which is cool, and it works. So the next thing what I want to do is connect the roughness to that as well. So let's just connect it and see what we get. And this looks actually pretty cool. Like it's super clear, super shiny now, and then the metal is super rough. So obviously this is too much, and we need to dial it down to make it more realistic, I guess. So to do that, what I first want to do is create another blend. So I'm blending two colors together. One is metal, one is paint, and this is driving the roughness. So currently it's all super shiny because there's no colors connected. So for basic things, you can just create uniform colors, which is obviously in real life it's always broken up and it's just not one constant. But for now, I will just do that. Control D for duplicate, and then I'm blending them together using the same mask, and then I'm just changing the colors. So this one is the metal, which should it be rough or not rough? That's a good question. I'm not so sure. Let's just do until we're happy with the result. And then I'm connecting the other, or changing the color for the other one to be not as reflective as it is right now. So I'm just bringing in some value, something like this. So, and the cool thing about designers, you can see that the detail here is really not that good. It's like blotchy, and you can see those pixels. And the cool thing is you can actually on the fly change the scale. So currently I'm at 1K texture, and I can just increase this number to 11, and then we should get a higher output of textures, and which should increase detail. And you can go even further. You can go up to 4K. And then you get a nice detailed result from that. And it's on the fly. Oh, and let's say you don't like the pattern. You can actually go here in the node and just change the seed number, random seed, and then you get a different result every time. You see it's updating all the maps, and it's always different. And think of that in big scale. If you have like a huge forest, or like lots of robots or something like that, you can just instance them, use this designer file, and everything gets a random seed and everything is unique. And this is like the beauty of that. Okay, so let's continue. Let's break it up a bit more. So we got the metal connected, And let's now use something to control the bump map. And to control the bump map, all you need to do is connect something to this normal input slot. So let's just, for now, let's just use a noise pattern. Let's use these black and white spots like this. And let's just connect those guys to the normal map. And now you can see you get some high frequency noise. I just need to control that a bit more. In the normal mode, you can just change intensity and you get a nicer result there. Just 1 second. Okay, so you can see now we have like, it's still very strong, but you can see it's looking already pretty cool. And it's like how much it like without a tutorial it would take me maybe 3 minutes to set this up. So it's really easy and fast to create this great amount of detail, and it's super quick. So next thing, there's lots of different pattern generators. So I will use one more if I can find them right here. So there is this ground dirt, which is pretty cool. Or let's use the leaks if it works. Then you get some like running paint or running rust or something like that. So this guy needs position, curvature, and occlusion. All right, so let's just connect them up first. What was it? Position, curvature, and normal. I think this was position. Yeah. Position. That should be curvature and occlusion. All right, let's see. We want to change the diffuse. Okay, so this is now what it generates for us. So I hope the comment section is so quiet. I'm not sure if I'm actually still streaming. Let me just double check that. If this thing is still running. Yeah, it's all good, I think. Okay, so I use again a blend, and I just want to blend the base color, right? I don't want to go onto the metal, because like the paint is let's say something is like running down on the paint. So I create a blend, and it's mostly all the time it's just blend maps together, blending different things together to create an interesting result. So let's create another uniform color. Let's just make this oh, I can show you another cool feature, which is really awesome, in a second. So I'm just connecting these two up now. And now you can see we got some dirt or whatever this is, rust on top of the paint. Let's connect this up. Not even sure if you get this detail. I'm not sure if the outputs are correct. Well, you can see it here at the bottom a bit. Let's just make a darker color. Yeah. You can see something is in these edges, and occlusion is driving this a bit, which is also pretty nice. Okay, so what else? So let's, what else can we do? We can use also this ground dirt, which is like a Y-ramp dirt generator or dust generator. Well, let's just see what else we can do here. Dripping rust. Okay, let's create rust, which is creeping up from the bottom. We use this ground dirt shader, and it needs just a position because it just will use the Y axis from the position pass, like so. And then what I want to do now is create a rust shader or a rust texture. And to do that, I think this is this guy. Nope. Is it just gradient? Yeah. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to use this as my base. And I create another blend. So now get blown away. So background, and then the foreground is this gradient color, and the base is the mask is my ground dirt, right? And this connects to the base color. Okay, so this is currently what we have. Nothing really fancy, because we don't have anything in here. So what I want to do now, I want to create a rust pattern. Really simple. So what you do, what I do, I go to Google and search for rust texture maybe. There we go. And now we need to find something more extreme like this. Yeah, this is good, I think. Which one shall we take? Let's just take, there's so many to choose from. I think this one looks interesting. Okay, so this is now looking pretty cool, I guess. And let's keep this on top. Nope. Let's try this again. There we go. So now it is on top. And in this tool, you have a gradient editor. And in this editor, you can actually pick a gradient. So if I click this guy, and if I click and drag over here, it actually generates me a pattern based from this texture input, which actually does not work. Why is it not working? Precision? Maybe it's just not updating properly. Interesting. It should actually display the gradient, like this noise pattern. Or maybe I'm doing it wrong, which is also very possible. Clicking a few buttons. Interesting. Now I'm confused. Let's just try this again. Gradient. Graph editor. Pick a gradient. You like this feature? Yeah, I like it actually too, if it would be working. Anyways, what it's doing is it should be creating. Oh, sorry. Stupid me. Okay. It needs an input for it to work. So let's just use a noise, and let's just use this black and white spots and connect this one up. And now, there we go. Now it's working. You see what we get here now? It's actually very close to the texture. So let's just pick a gradient again. There we go. You see how amazing this is? And this is just doing or dragging over an image, and it randomly picks textures or whatever color information and creates this pattern, which is pretty sweet. So I want to use this now as my rust color, which connects to this shader right here, right? I think we connected this already. Where do we connect it to? That's this one. It should go here. There we go. Where do you drag the image to? What image? Where do I drag the image to? I don't get it. I'll show the process again one more time. So let's just connect this guy up first. And now we should get this rust here. Currently this map is not strong enough, so the whites are not perfectly white. So I want to increase some contrast. And I think we might, there we go. Increase the level so we get a proper white output. And let's just minimize this guy. Okay, so there we go. Now we have some rust here at the bottom, but it's way too shiny, right? So we need to address this map and connect this one with the roughness, which is right here. So we create a blend down here. Oh, I think I skipped actually the question how long it takes me to learn a new package, right? Never ending process. Well, I don't know. I think I'm actually also a fast learner because I really like learning new things and always being like on top of things. So I don't know, if I really like this and I want to work it, I don't know. I just spend like 1 or 2 days really reading up stuff, reading the docs, and just pushing myself to know the package. And most of them have similar approaches, similar ideas, and so it's not too crazy to learn something new. And if it's even fun, it's even worth it, right? Okay, so let's create the uniform guy and connect this to the foreground and this one here. And now we should have the rust texture, the control of the rust texture, right? I just need to change a value. So we have very rough rust. Is that means? I don't get the question, sorry. So currently we don't have this in the bump slot, right? So we want to create this dust pattern as also in the bump map. So in the roughness slot, let's actually let's not use a raw color for the roughness. Let's just use a grayscale version of this image. So to create a grayscale version, I forgot how to do that. Grayscale conversion. Is this just a grayscale node? Oh yeah, okay. There you go. We can tab now. Tab doesn't work. Oh, I don't know. Spacebar. Right, so this one instead goes in here. So now we have a more detailed roughness map, right? You can see this high frequency noise in here. So let's use this guy as my bump map. So how does this look now? Nothing happened. Maybe it's still not strong enough. There we go. It was not strong enough. So you can see now this nice, really nice detail what we get here for the rust, and the paint is obviously too strong. So I need to dial down a few maps. So this one is not working because this needs a grayscale conversion as well. Okay, so this is connected. Yeah, I think, okay, the top bomb is too strong. So what you can actually do, you can combine normal maps if that's easier. So what you can do, if I don't want to do one of them basic functions as a gloss on right for highlights. Yeah, exactly, yeah. That's what I was doing. So you have normal blend and normal combine. So I think it's combine. You can just add them together, A and B, and you can actually. Oh wait, what's this? What does the normal blend do? Yeah, so this is I think better. The normal blend takes two inputs, and then you can blend how much you want from the one or the other. Okay, but anyways, let's just keep it simple for now, and I want to show you now the process to get it over to Maya. So we have how many outputs? 4 outputs. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And that's all you need for Maya, or for Arnold actually. So to do that, you can just go to your Explorer and you can right-click on your package where you are working in and export outputs as bitmaps. And then you choose your location. And then you can add a name or the format. I like to work in EXR files. And I want to just do a rename export. That's just for me naming convention. And you can see at the preview how the name will be exported. Export live base color, and it creates 4 outputs for those 4 slots. Before we do that though, I want to make sure everything is on 4K. So the only ones which are not is this metallic map. And this is because the input maps are also 2K. So you can scale them up by just double clicking them and then just forcing them to be bigger. They won't get higher res because they are baked out for 2K, so they get softer. But all the other maps, which are procedural, will work then in 4K. Let's see if it did work. Still 2K. I think I might just need to do it on all the ones. Come on. What is this one actually? Huh. Didn't I connect occlusion? What is this guy? Oh. I did it wrong actually. I used the thickness instead of occlusion. So maybe it will look different now if I plug the correct maps here. I think it works better. Did I just have one occlusion connection? Guess so. These go here. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, now we get some dirt in the ridges here, which is maybe better. So anyways, let's just scale this one up as well. Just checking if everything is still up and running on this side. Yeah, it's all good. Okay, so let's export, save, and let's just, yeah, there we go. Now it's 4K, 4K, 4K. Everything is 4K. So right click again, export outputs as bitmaps, and let's just add the prefix again. Right, and export, save all. So now it's exporting. And let's head over to my okay, so what I have here is just a render view, and what I did already, I just imported the model. Oh, it's locked. Oh, it's hidden now. Okay, so this is the model. Simple sphere. You can see the UVs. It's nothing crazy. There you go. It's hard to see. Oh, they changed everything here. Never mind. So this is that. So currently I don't have any textures in Maya. So what you can do, you can either drop them, like these guys. You can just drag and drop them in your session, and it create all the nice file nodes and names everything properly. So let's just sort these guys. So this is now what I'm getting. You can use the file texture read, which is the default. Just make sure the color space is set to raw. And what I always would encourage you guys to do, if you go to the render globals, make sure auto convert is off. And sometimes if you need, you can accept untitled also off, which won't render unless it is mipmap, which is the most efficient way for Arnold. And then increase your texture memory size. If you have the RAM, do that. I've got 32 gigs, so I actually might crank it up to 8 gigs, but it depends how heavy your textures are. Yeah. Okay, so you can either use the file texture nodes or you can use the AI image nodes. I don't think there's a benefit to either one. It's just a preference. You have a few more tokens here and some color grading. Oh, I think you have them as well in here anyways. Yeah. Okay, so the connection is super simple. What you would have guessed is that base color connects to the base color because the shaders are kind of the same. So out color goes to base color, and roughness red channel, one channel from those, you can use green or blue as well, goes to the roughness. Metallic goes to the metallic slot. So it's not exposed here. So what you can do, you can right click show all, and then you see metal somewhere. You can actually search. I'm not sure if you know that. You can actually search in here, and you can find your stuff faster. And then normal, which is the normal camera, needs a bump map. So in Maya, you see it's tab to create nodes. So so this guy is also, this one is a red. It doesn't matter, but be sure to change this to tangent space, which is the normal map, and output this to the normal slot. And then what I like to do before I start rendering, I go to Utilities, TX Manager, and it finds these ones which I just connected and they are not converted. So you can either, if you unclick the auto convert, then you need to do this, otherwise you won't get mipmap images. So select those, create TX. It takes a while. It's running in the background, but it will convert your textures to TX files. You can see one is processed already, 2 is processed. And when that is on and you go into render settings again, it will search for a TX in that same location. So if this is checked on, use existing TX textures, it will always use the TX files instead. So I'm just waiting for this to finish off. And then I'll go to Designer. And in Designer, you also have the option to render with iRay, which is a ray tracer. OpenGL is not really exact enough. So this is now iRay, which is, I think, from NVIDIA bought that. So this is now proper ray tracing. I'm just looking for a nice angle. I'm rendering that. You can see the iterations here at the bottom, 40 iterations from 250. And when it's at 250, it will stop rendering. And you can change those settings. And you can change those settings in the render settings. 250 is what I entered. I think the default is 500. So this is what I have. Whoa. And instead of using a separate metal map, can we just make the metallic parts white in the spec maps? No, because you need to define it as a metal object, because the BSDF changes completely when you have a metal toggled on. Can normal use alpha to plug? Yes, I think let's just test it out. I think you can plug it there as well. So I'm saving. I think they should be converted. It should not take too long. I was just rambling around. So let's just start the render. Right, so this is what we currently get. I think, if it's assigned. Is it assigned? Maybe it's not assigned. Okay, so this is now what we get. This is the direct conversion from here, but you can see it's using my old shader, so I have not assigned it to the object, as it seems. Maybe I need to flush. I'm not sure what's going on now. Did I connect it wrong? Textures? No, I did not, right? Nope. Let's just make sure and go to the folder. So these guys are connected properly. I'm a bit confused. Let's just see what is assigned to this guy. That is the correct shader. Interesting. I'm not sure why they show up as pink, because it should be actually red. Let's just try again. Yeah, that's why I will flush textures now. Let's see if this will help. No, it does not help. Interesting. It seems it's like, let me just restart that session. It's super strange. So what was the question? So you basically need 2 spec maps and a metalness map? No, I don't see why you want to have 2 maps. What do we do if there is a difference in IR, like paint and metal mixed together? Obviously metal requires a higher value than paint. Yeah, you can, if you want to be scientific about it, you can use the IOR slot in the specular map and paint like values for metal. I can show you what I mean by that. IOR, index of refraction. Is it there yet? Designer. Let's just see what's going on now. No, I tested it out before and it was matching, so I think it's some caching issue or something like that. I can actually also check how the textures look like. If they are pink, the output from designer is wrong. Let's see if this is actually pink and not red. Oh, it is actually pink, so this is where the problem is. So everything was fine. I think it's just exporting a pink texture, which is super weird. So let's just head over here. So this is all correct. Let's just check designer. Why is it outputting pink textures? I don't have IOR map, no. Export outputs. Let's just try to overwrite them. because the metalness slider changes the specular color automatically. So let's just check what we did. So it's updated now again. And let's just delete those guys. And if this is still pink, then it is still pink. Then it's correct, I guess. It's just very pink, which is weird. It should export linear automatically, so this is also weird because AXRs is a floating floating color space. It should be fine. Anyways, let's just see. We need to convert those textures again, and in the meantime, I'll show you the setup quickly. So great. Okay, so this needs to be on 1. So what you can do if you want to map the IOR, you can actually do that, but then you don't. You keep the metalness to 0. Let me just show you this properly. Okay, so AI standard, and let's just assign this guy. Okay, so this is now my basic texture, basic shader. Whoa. Oh, what's going on? Everything is dying. Can't even use my cursor anymore. Whoa. Sorry about that. It's going crazy here, my machine. Is the stream still up? Let's just check that quickly. Stream is dead. No! Okay. Numa is buggy. Haha. Yeah. Anyways, it is, I don't know, it was better at some point, so it didn't really crash for me today except this conundrum just now. So how many, is that all exported now? Yeah, should be. All right, okay. Okay, sorry about this, all the interruptions. That's when you know you're working with Maya, all this crap happens. Okay, let's just open the scene again. Which is in training. Okay. Yeah, it's all a bit buggy, and they all know about it, and I try to fix it, and with new fixes, there come new bugs, and it's always like a circle, right? So, but it's getting always better. That's what I at least think. So let's just write standard surface. So before we start, I just want to quickly show you how you can. You failed me. And render. Okay. So here we go again. Okay. So if I want to create a metal shader without using metalness, what you can do is you can increase the IOR to 50 or something, and then you get the same effect. So you can actually paint a value in here for Mario or whatever, and then you can do that as well, which is a different way of doing things. And this should also like give you colored highlights and everything like that. So then you can use this, and then you get a red speck and all that stuff. But if you don't want to do that, and you want to use the metalness, you can do that. Keep this on white, change this to metalness, and then you get the red speck as well. So these are the options you have, and this is currently what I'm doing with this shader. So this should be the shader which I just created, which is kind of pinkish. It might be that this environment is different, I don't know. So I assign the shader, and let's render that. So this is now what we're getting, and you can see that all this nice detail is preserved, and you get all the edges, and it's pretty cool actually. And you can quickly just update things and change the color and just output it again, and then save it out, and you're done. So yeah, you're right. It seems it's like sRGB space, which it shouldn't be. So it might be that the texture conversion is not on linear. But this guy is on raw, which is actually correct. Anyways, I just wanted to show you the integration, which kind of does work. So there's a different thing which you can also do, which is also pretty neat, which is having a live substance shader in your session. So to do that, you create a substance shader in here, substance texture. Before, let's just go quickly here. This is all good, right? Okay, so in here, what you can do, you can first need to go to designer again, and you need to export your SBS file. Sorry, export the SBR file, and this is now the shader. It should not go there, it should go here. Right. Warning, file graph not relative, blah. Okay. You can actually output different values in here, so you can create custom, you can export like a custom variable for the rust amount or the bump amount, and you can actually tweak them as well if you want to output them. Okay, let's just try to change the curvature or something, the edge breakup. If I can remember how it worked. Which one is this? Leaks. Oh, that's the leaks one. Let's find it quickly. This one. And I think we can grunge amount. What is that doing? Yeah, it's adding more grunges to that. So I think you can somehow expose this. Oh, I'm not sure if I can remember how I did that. You can definitely promote them, expose them. There we go. So grunge amount, right? Let's just see if I can find it here. Graph input group. Let's just hit OK, and let's just try what happened now. This is now exposed, right? Let's just see if it does work. It should show up here. Maybe not entirely. Maybe I need to check the output node. Maybe I need to expose it here as well. I need to read up on that if I don't find it just now. It was not too difficult actually to do that. Let's just try again. Grunge amount is time empty function. Anyways, if this doesn't work, then I'll read up on that and show you next time. Okay, does not work. I guess it doesn't work, and hit just OK, and now we exported the SBR file. So if I'm going back to Maya, you should see that, sorry, stream is a bit slow again. You should see that you can add this SBR file right here. So if I go to this, designer SBR file, open that, and this should give me now the textures inside here. Let's just try again. Everything seems a bit sluggish, not sure, it does not load anymore. Oh, it did not export it? Why not? 0 kilobytes. Oh, it's maybe still doing that? Okay. I'm not sure why it's so slow to export. Anyways, feel free to ask any questions down below. Yeah, it doesn't really matter about the color space. It's more about integration, and you can see how to connect the stuff up, and then it just works. So it seems like it crashed. as well. So my machine is just, I think, doing too much at the same time. Okay, is it back? Yeah, that's what I tried to do. Let's just open this quickly again. Open file. Still opening everything. Okay. And now we need to bring back the geometry back in. And the more, oh, actually now it's the pink again. So it was actually an update issue in here because it is pink. So it's all good. So so what did you say? Don't you right click on the node in Substance to expose the parameter and then assign them to a group? So what I did here, right click this, expose parameters. I did that, so that's there. Graph input group. Graph input group. No idea what that is. Do I need to add this input group? Is it this guy here? You see, I'm also pretty noob here. I think it's this group, right? I don't know if this will work. The following inputs are not used anymore. Select inputs to remove. Okay. I don't know. Never mind. So let's just first see if the SBR file is actually exported or if it broke. Yeah, so there's nothing in there. So I'm saving this again. And I want to. Oh, interesting. I think I need to remove this guy. Yeah, let's just do that. And export SBR file. Let's just see what's going on now. Yeah, replace that. The default file name of archive content. I don't know. If it's not working now, I give up. It's still writing out, so I'm not sure if it does crash again. Yeah, you need to forget that AL shaders is not supported, so you need to work with the new system and try to learn that. So I think Substance does not like to export this somehow. I'm not sure why. Keep spinning the spinning wheel. So anyways, let's see if I find a different SBR file. Let's just see if I have something somewhere. Substance. So here's one. Does that work? Okay, this is a different one though. But you can see when it's loaded, you get all this stuff in here, right? It gives you all the outputs you have from Substance. So you can click this play button and it will create you this output node right here. And this is directly driven from the Substance node in here. So if you have exposed some parameters, you can actually find them in here and you can change them right inside of Maya and it will rewrite the textures to disk. So the other thing which is cool, you can create a automatic connections. And if this is enabled and you create a network, or you need to do it like this maybe, create shading network. Damn it, nothing is working today. I'm pretty sure if you click this, it will create you temp directories. And with those temp directories, you can actually connect those temp ones to your shader, and then you should have it have a live updated shader inside of Maya. So why this doesn't work? It's a bit embarrassing, but yeah. Okay, so this is done. So maybe it did work. Let's see if we got the file now. Okay, it was just huge, 70 megabytes. Maybe that's why it took forever. So if I select this now, no, I tested this before. It's not about the trial. It's a full feature version, the trial. Yes, I would say AL surface is obsolete. Designer, SBR file, open. So now it's loading the 70 megabytes. And it's also very slow. Okay, you can see that the thumbnail is pink, so it does really generate it, which is nice. So this does work, and now you don't need to output your textures anymore. You can just create the base color, hopefully. Let's just connect this instead and see what this brings us. Don't break the shader. So let's just disconnect all the other ones just for now. I'm not sure if this works now. Does not work. Oh, it's such a stupid thing. If I do this seems to work. Yeah, but this is just the damn it. Okay, it seems not to work. I tested this actually before and it was working, so I'm a bit confused. Please refer subset plugin documentation for output standard naming or exit custom workflow. This is not a custom workflow. Actually, you should be able to choose a substance graph from here, which is my live session, which is not showing up as well. So this was maybe not successful, this live session, because nothing seems to be working today. But I hope you do get the gist and you understand what is going on here. So how easily you can manipulate shaders and export those textures and get a pretty good looking result. And you can see there is this detail, which is pretty sweet. The thing is, these textures are very, like, a procedural texture is, I think, up to 32K. Yeah, that's why it looks super nice in here, but if you back them out to 4K, you can see that there's a big loss of resolution. Yeah, the substance. Yeah, I'm actually was talking with the algorithmic people, and no one really wants to be responsible for that node. So Autodesk or slash Solid Angle tells or says they don't support third-party plugins. So whoever's creating plugins needs to support them. And Algorithmic says, yeah, we created the substance node and that's it. And the problem is that this node, the substance node, does not talk really properly with this node. So, and there's this bridge which needs to be fixed, but no one feels responsible in doing so, and that's why there's a bit of an issue. Okay, now something did work. I don't know, I just clicked the button again, and you can see now that this is now a temp file connected here. And this is going now to the bump, and this is now automatically created this PNG file, which is the normal map. So let's see if this did work. I don't know. Maybe we're lucky. Not sure if we are lucky. So there's no surface normals on here. We can try to open this and see what it actually has. Anyways, feel free to ask any questions. So there is definitely information in here. You can see that. So this does work. So it seems to be an issue from Maya. So it might be that this setting, which I have here, is also buggy as well. Except untiled. Yeah, there we go. So now you can see that the bump map does work, which is cool. So why doesn't the other ones work? Let's try to figure it out. So normal's connected. Okay, so now we also get the base color working. Let's just connect that one as well. Oh yeah, sorry, the questions. It should work. Let's just connect the alpha. Okay, it's working, weirdly. Okay, if I connect the... What is this for node? The out alpha. Out alpha is connected. As you can see, it does work. It doesn't matter because this bump node just goes back to the connected node and grabs the information, whatever it needs, depending on if it's tangent or bump, it automatically knows what to do. So it really doesn't matter. I can plug in blue, green, or whatever other channel and it will just find it. Okay, so this is working as well, which is very surprising. Okay, so what else do we need to connect here? So roughness map. Let's click the play button here. I'm just waiting for it to crash actually. Anyways, so we have the roughness as well. So the roughness red channel goes to the roughness slot, which does work as well. And the last one is metal, I guess. Metallic. So let's create that one. Let's just save. Okay. So you can see now that we have a working shading network based on live shaders, live textures. Show. And where is metallic? There we go. Right, so this did work pretty good now. So we have this whole thing connected up. And now what you can do in the substance node, you can actually just change the seed number. If I can find it. Oh, here's a random seed and here's a grunge amount. So it actually does output them, but it just does not show it in the exporter. So let's just save and see how it works. If I save this image as well, and I change the random seed to 2, let's see what it's doing. It might be a wise idea to stop the renderer actually, so which I did not do now. So it got whiter. No, so what I think now what happened, it's just the textures are still in the cache. So let's just stop the render, flush all textures, and just restart. Let's see if we are lucky. Yes, we are lucky. So you can see that we have now a random seed, and this was not doing changing the default seed value. So what you can do now, you can have several instances of this shader, which each drive a different seed number, and then you get each object looks totally different and random. So this is pretty cool, right? And then you can obviously, if it's stopped now, you can change this expose parameter, which we exported. So let's just increase the grunge amount to 0.8, which will now re-export all the textures and temp numbers. So it takes a while. Yes, please feel free to ask anything. Okay, so we have new textures, so let's just flush them out and update full scene. And now I've increased the grunge amount to 0.8. And you can see it does definitely work, and all the other maps get exported. So the bump map is working, the rust is working, everything is updated on the fly. And I think this is a very strong and big feature, which is a good thing to have, and it just really helps you create detail on your shaders. How should I properly make air and water? Do you mean like if you have a glass of water and a bubble inside of that? I think that why is that? Why do you need a special shader for that? I know JF nested electric shader, which is pretty cool. It looks very realistic. But the new shader on the standard surface shader is also pretty cool, pretty good, and it can do that. Okay, so what else? Okay, so what I did in here was exporting the grunge amount to 0.8. Yeah, so these are kind of the basics. There's lots to it. You can actually do pretty advanced stuff. And we had a meeting with those people from Algorithmic, and they showed us really fancy things which you can do in here. Like, I don't know, I'm not really like, I tried to create like a procedural rock texture and some brick patterns to break that up, and it did look pretty good. So you have, if you get used to this and understand the workflows, you can create pretty nice things out of the box. You see, you've got this simple brick generator and some cloth generator. You actually have some scratches as well, which is pretty cool. I think if I can find them. Is this guy still rendering? No. There should be something with scratches, if I remember correctly. Not sure why there is no thumbnails for this scratches generator. Was it because of no? I'm not sure. It's very slow. I think this will though is all I can tell you for now with the integration. This should just be an introduction, but you can see we finally got the scratches showing up now. And you can just use this for a roughness map for like breaking up the code or something like that. So that's pretty cool. Lots of things to explore in this software, which is pretty cool. So I'm just closing this now. So we just have my open. So light portals are buggy or just not good enough yet because they never clean noise no matter how high the samples. That's not true. I got pretty convincing results. How do you decipher between Mari and Substance when starting a project? Well, Mari is more developed or evolved in the industry, and Substance is pretty new, so you can't really do like big production scenes, not properly, unless you have like big dev team which will output better tools. When is it better to use these painter? Honestly, I'm not a big texture guy. Like I'm not a painter myself, so I'm I think nowadays, because Mari is also node based now, they are pretty similar. I think you just don't have these nice particle brushes, but I think there are actually plugins now for Mari, so you get these nice particle brush as well. And I don't know, I think it's preference, not entirely sure. So a quick demo for portal lights. So let's just hide this guy, which is my sphere, and I just create a little room, which is a box this size. And then we go to edge mode. All right, so let's just do beveling this guy. Yay. Okay, so let's just make this a bit bigger. And let's see, or let's hope it does actually work what I'm trying to show you. So if I create the camera, my perspective camera, and I go in here and I lock the position and I assign a shader. No, wait. Standard surface shader. Render. Okay, so this is expected, right? Pretty noisy. Pretty much noisy, right? So portal light. So now you say it doesn't work, so let's try to get it to work. If I create a new camera just to pan around and save to UI threads, and let's just go even smaller. Okay, just for speed that it's number. I think you can still see that everything. So okay, so here's my box, and if I create a light, a portal light, and you can see the noise is already completely gone. So if I make this bigger now, make sure it's pointing the right way. Minus 180. I use Mari, and from what I understand, it's great when you have a lot of UDIMs. And yeah, definitely. So this is the big selling point. Mari is supporting has full UDIM support, and until Substance has UDIM or like proper UDIM support, I think Mari will always be the number one choice. So let's see if it is actually better or not. It's hard to tell. Okay, I think it's actually better. So I'm storing this image now, and I'm hiding the portal. Yeah, it's quite a lot better actually. So this is with the portal light, and this is without. And I think it's a lot cleaner. And I have default settings, right? I have one diffuse sample. So let's just go to 3 maybe and 5 here. And let's see what this resolves. So this is still the... Oh, and I actually don't have any samples on the light, I think. Yeah, I did not have any samples there as well. So let's try with 2 samples. Yes, Substance Painter does support UDIMs, but it's a hacky way. You cannot paint over UDIM tiles, and you cannot have like a proper selection. You can only select the set, and then it jumps to that UDIM, and the visibility changes. So it's not perfect yet, but they are getting there. So they are working pretty hard to get it working. So it's almost there, but it's not there yet. Okay, so this is now rendering without the portal light. I'm storing this and I'm unhiding the portal, so it's working. So now let's see if there's actually a big difference. Yeah, I must say there is a big difference. You can see the noise levels. Let me just stop up a bit. So this is without. Okay, if you say so, maybe they updated this and I'm not on the latest version, because the one which I was working with was you cannot select, well, you can select a UDIM set, you can paint on that, and then you need to select a different set and paint on that. But if you have 2 UDIM sets next to each other and you want to paint across them, this did not work when I was working with that. So this is the difference. So it's pretty cool, the portal lights, and they make it pretty clean. So I would encourage you guys to use them because it just cleans up your renders and it makes your renders faster. Yeah, depends if you're having a hard time creating materials in Mari. It makes sense because on default they don't support really third-party shaders, and the companies where I have been working, they have their own shaders, which they also use for Arnold and Mari and all the other packages together, and they can just use a viewport shader, and what they see in the viewport is kind of the same when they do rendering. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, but I understand that it's not as easy to know what values to paint in Mari unless you need to export them, plug them in, render, see it, go back, and then bake them out again. Yes, so feel free to ask a few more questions. Why is the stream not there anymore? And then we wrap it up, and then we have a new session next week. But feel free, I'm still online a bit more, so we can actually do some Q&A. Okay. So I'm just waiting. If no questions are asked, then I would end the stream in like 2 minutes. So you actually some very cool models, and obviously lots of materials which you can just download and use, like all these nice game shaders. You can just use them and export the textures, and make sure it works in Arnold or your render engine. And there is still the big limitation of Substance Designer, definitely, is that it only supports objects with one UDIM tile. So what you would need to do is export your geometry on one UDIM tile and work with that. And the workaround would be to just have several visibility objects which are extracted from the UDIMs, and then extract each geo separately, paint on that, or do export those shaders and then stitch them back together, which is something which people do, and I know companies do that. Like for instance, DNEC, they have an automated way to do that. Yeah. So a few more funny shaders. How do you do close-up of order ups in a product? Should they have a kind of soft caustic? Is that well, caustics is not really working with Arnold. Yeah, it's a good question. It's hard to do proper caustics, or it's actually impossible to do like sharp and detailed caustics using Arnold. What people tend to do, if like they have a specific thing, they just switch the render engine. So you use V-Ray or RenderMan, for instance, where you can just change the integrator to something more like bidirectional, and then you can create caustics pretty simple. If you want to do that in Arnold, yeah, different renderer. Well, you can try to really fake it by boosting the caustics, because you can get these highlights, but you will never get these crisp, nice, edgy highlights. Definitely not. Let's just try that quickly. Let's just do this. Is the Arnold SSS shader gone? Well, as subsurface scattering is included in the standard surface shader. Jeez, how high is this plane? It's the new. Jesus, that was pretty high. There we go. Okay, so this is my awesome water drop, which looks very shitty. So create a light. We actually have the environment light, but we want something more directional. So let's see if we can actually get some caustics. Exactly, this is the transition. So just the metalness slider. There's no like normal metal is not like does not have two layers. It's mostly just coatings like car paint. It has a base metal coat, and then there's a clear coat on top. So it's always try to see how it's in real life and just try to recreate that. So this is now a glass shader. Transmission. Okay. But only one layer. Okay, so let's see what we get now. Right. Okay. No. I cannot guarantee that this will work, because I never really did proper caustics. So the light is here. Now we need to enable caustics. They are on the shader. Advanced, I think. Yeah. Yeah, well, you you get something, definitely. Here's something. I wonder where it would go, in which AOV it would go. Maybe you can actually extract that properly. So you can see you get some caustics definitely around here. So if you're happy with that, this does kind of work for drops. So let's just try to create AOVs. I'm actually not sure in which one it would go. Would it be like spec direct or spec indirect? Let's just also try. It should not be in transmission as far as I know. Okay, it's not there, it's not there, it's not there. So what is it? It's a camera, spec, diffuse. Huh. Okay, let's just create a custom LP just to test it out. So let's just try custom. Let's RGB and go to AOV node and camera. Damn it, what was it? Camera spec. Oh, I forgot the syntax already. Indirect diffuse. Yeah, it will be in diffuse, but I want to get just a spec gray, so let's just try to extract that with LPs. Arnold LPE. Come on. So it would be camera RS. You said it's this one? Let's see. But this is refracted, right? What is the R event? Diffuse reflection. Diffuse reflection, that's what we want, and we want it from the light. So diffuse reflection. Yeah, so you see there are lots of different things to do, and I'm definitely not a pro of caustic. So you can see we have the diffuse already extracted, but we just want the spec ray. So camera reflected diffuse, and then it's just diffuse. What if I put light here? Yeah, so I don't think that we will get this working because I am not so familiar with LPs just yet. So we want reflective diffuse and we want the indirect event for everything in just these two guys. Let's try this. There we go, man. So you can actually just extract the diffuse, the caustics, which is cool because this pass is now custom and you can then use this to control the nuke or wherever in the compositing. You can denoise it and whatever. So this is your caustic pass, which is pretty cool. Which should be this guy. Yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in and for all the questions. So please have a go with Substance Designer or Painter. It's all similar, and maybe share your results with me and feel free to ask any more questions. There's only one slot to input subsurface map and not 3. Why do you need 3? Like, this 3-layer approach is just an approximation of the real world, right? Yeah, so let's just try the last thing again. So if I create a new thing, they've got new primitives actually, like ultra shape. So ultra shape is something fancy new. It's so old. What is old? Oh, the one. Yeah, that's true. Ultra shape. So this is kind of what I'm trying to do. Mixer, exponent. Sorry, I'm fiddling around now as well. So I'm just trying to create a nice shape for SSS. What else do they do? Vertical. Okay, anyways, let's just do this. Alright, so I'm assigning the shader now, standard surface. So, render. Okay, so let's just hide the sky dome. Alright, so as you can see, no subsurface scattering is happening because it's not enabled. Okay, so standard surface shader, and let's say we want to have it fully on, and we want to have this is now the base color. And you can see it's already very see-through, like wax almost. And now this radius is defining how deep it scatters, right? This is what you are talking about, how to create fat layer and blood layer and all this fancy stuff, right? So you can't currently you cannot connect any special maps to this, so you cannot have 3 maps for this. But what you can do and how it works is the red, green, and blue channel, you can, for skin, for instance, the skin color is mostly red, like the subsurface of skin is mostly red. So if red is wanted, the red color will go the deepest, and then you can control the green and the blue channels. And this is kind of how you do this effect. And obviously, if you have a very big penetration like this, you can just change the scale and you break physicality by this. And this is now how you would create, for instance, a red glowing ear or whatever. And as far as I know, it's red because there's blood running through those veins, and then the light lights up the blood vessels and it gets red. And I've never seen someone having yellow ears or something like that. So what you see is the blood, and the blood is red, and this is how it's working. So I don't know why you need to have 3 layers. This was just an approximation. Like in the early days, you used ambient lights to achieve indirect illumination, or not too long ago, you used ambient occlusion, like a separate ambient occlusion pass for final gather renders or something, just to add more contact shadows. But today's render engines are so advanced already. They have proper ray tracing, and they have contact shadows. They already create indirect proper bounce lights. So this is just a new refreshing way of doing subsurface scattering, I guess. And I think it looks already good. So and have you ever tried to do a human with this approach? And I'm pretty sure it will work. So yeah, this is how you do SSS on the basic way, I guess. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we still have 30 viewers, and you can see it goes down. People get tired, or especially on this side of the world, people go to bed now, which I will do shortly as well. So thanks again for tuning in. The next session is in a week, I guess. I'm not sure exactly what I will cover. Feel free to give me suggestions. And yeah, thank you guys. See you next week, and have a good week. Cheers.